Let's get into it. I know you got a tight schedule here, Keith. So excited to have
Good.
you on here at the KX Country Clubhouse today. Thanks,
Thank
thanks
you.
for hopping on here, man.
You bet. Good to talk to you.
And it's exciting times too, because you have this new single out, or well, you have a new song out, Straight Line,
Yeah.
and I feel like, and I said this when the song came out, the world is just a better place when we have new music from Keith Urban. First of all,
Oh man. Thank you,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? And then
Thank you.
this song, it sounds, it's like vintage Keith. You know what I mean? It just has that, it has that like vintage Keith Urban sound to it. And this one kicks off the album as well. Talk about Straight Line.
Yeah. Yeah. First single, first song on the album. Yeah, this whole record, man, it's been quite it's been quite the journey. Um, Sometimes the things that sound like they were so easy to do take the longest.
Right.
But I started this album just over 2 years ago and ended up with 13 songs. And in February last year, February 2023. So yeah, a year ago, I took in
Yeah.
this album, the finished album, and played it for a bunch of people in my team, and got 3, 4 songs, 5 songs into the record, and I could just feel all the wind going out of my sail. I'm like, this is not the album. This isn't it, is it? And they're like, and I love my team because I went, well, you tell me. I mean, and I
Right.
went, I can feel it. I can feel this is not it. And it was such a just just a crap moment because I'd worked on it for the better part of a year, and I could tell that it was half done, basically.
Mhm.
Like maybe 4 songs were going to survive out of these 13. Messed Up As Me being one of them, and a few others. And then I was going to have to be back into the studio writing, recording, and I knew that was going to take forever. And sure enough, it took another year for all these songs to start coming together. But the beautiful part about it was, I set out to make a certain kind of record, and that was my vision. And I went and turned that record in and played it, and I could feel in my heart, this isn't it. It doesn't have it just doesn't, it's missing something.
Right.
And I didn't know what to do other than I know what not. I know this is not it. So what do I do? And it's the weirdest thing to say, but it's really true. Like certain songs, Messed Up As Me and about 3 to 4 other songs, it was like the songs said to me, take us with you. We don't belong here, but take us with you and let us guide you the rest of the way. From
You
us,
really,
yeah, truly. Like you'll know what songs to write, you'll know what you need. You just go with us now. Forget your vision, go with us, have
right.
faith in us. And we written and Straight Line was one of the early songs written after that. And it was written out of just liberation, frustration and liberation of feeling like I'd been stuck and I just wanted to break out from that thing. And that's why that
Yeah.
song probably has such a buoyant energy about it, you know.
And you poured your heart and soul into this album, like Messed Up As Me.
Mm.
There's a lot of emotions. You tackle some tough topics like mental health and your own mental health, and you really kind of open yourself up on especially on that song.
Yeah, oh well, Messed Up As Me, you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Messed Up As Me is probably the most sexy dysfunctional song I've ever recorded.
I love that.
It's what it is. It's sexually dysfunctional in all the right ways.
Well, we're already excited to hear this, new group of songs that you have now that you add to, so many great big hits that, have already come up in your catalog. And you got a show coming up at Fallsview. I know this summer you're going to be at Fallsview Casino. I read that you actually had because one of the things about touring is you're out on the road and you're away from home so often. But I read that you had the opportunity on your last run to kind of like bring the girls along with you. How much did that mean to you?
Oh, occasionally, yeah, family comes out every now
Yeah.
and then if they're kind of in a cool location and they get time or whatever. But it's hard because I'm at work. You know,
Right, right. You're still working, yeah.
yeah, I'm not on vacation. I'm yes, I'm going to a lot of cool destinations, but I'm definitely in work mode. So it's good to have them out for a little bit, but it's also, a balance. They get it. They understand that, I got stuff to do. I
Right.
got a show to put on, and you got to get sleep. You got to be on. You got to,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like an athlete, right? You got to eat right. You got to you're in your rhythm, your thing, so you can get on stage and kill it every night for 2 hours, night after
Mhm.
night after night, so that just requires a certain focus.
I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, Stephen Lee Olson, who
Yeah.
obviously one of the writers on Blue Angel Color.
Yeah.
And I said, anything that you want me to pass on to Keith? And he just said, "Oh man, just tell him that he's the best human." Is all he said.
Oh, right
Just
back
tell him
at
he's
him,
the
man.
best human for me.
That guy is so nice. He's got a song on this album that they sent me so long ago. So long ago, maybe 2017. And I've just been waiting for the right record for it to land on, and it finally found a home on this album. So I'm really excited for people to get to hear that track as well.
Right. Yeah. There's so many great songs, but like that one, watched you play it at Boots and Hearts this past summer, and it's like it gives me goosebumps every time. Does that feeling happen for you as well when you're standing on stage and thousands of people are screaming your songs back at you?
Oh, it's amazing. And I've been very blessed to be able to do that kind of thing for a long time with people knowing our songs, but it doesn't feel that long ago that I was playing the clubs four
Right.
hours a night, 5 nights a week playing covers and hoping that I could maybe get one song that I would write that the audience would know and they would all sing along with, like that would be the dream, would be to have audiences, people you don't know, singing your own song. I'm like, if I could just have one, that would be incredible.
And you've come a long way since the honky tonks and
Yeah.
playing with Brooks and Dunn. And I know someone that you played with early in the early days was Toby Keith. And I did want to ask you about Toby and his impact to country music in general.
Yeah, I did some. We did well, the Brooks and Dunn thing was a lot of people thought I played in their band, which I never did.
Right.
I opened a bunch of shows for them as an
Mhm.
opening act, and one of the big tours we did was Toby Keith was one of the opening acts as well. It's crazy. It was I would go on at like 4 in the afternoon, blazing sun, the whole thing, and nobody knew who we were. And then Montgomery Gentry went on, and then Toby Keith went
Right.
on, and then Kix and Ronnie came out and played, and it was an amazing tour. A lot of fun getting to hang with those guys. Was was pretty crazy backstage. That's all I can say. That was a different time in my life.
Yeah. Again, I
Great
feel like
memories, though. Great memories.
I feel like you've come a long way since then, and you've done so much, Keith. Like you got 25 number one singles here north of the border. I feel like you've pretty much done it all, and it's no secret that there's an acting bug in the family. Have you ever considered doing some acting? I mean, you've been in front of the camera, you've done Idol.
Oh,
It's not like you're no stranger to the camera.
zero interest in acting. I got none. I got no interest in. I got someone in the family who's way better at it than me.
Yeah, just leave it to the
And
professionals.
I love being in the studio. Right?
Right.
If I had to stand on a set somewhere doing a scene over and over again, all I could think about was I could be in the studio recording a song. I could be recording I will do a solo in the studio over and over again for hours and hours and hours. But I watch my wife on the set. I'm like, I can't. I got no interest. Zero.
I mean, you can't really hold a candle to when your wife is one of the greatest actresses in the history of film. It's
Let's just
tough.
say we found our lanes.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna say, if this whole music thing doesn't work out, you can always fall back on bowling. I read somewhere that you're a big bowler. Is that true? If this whole thing
You
doesn't
know,
work out for you, Keith, maybe
uh,
bowling.
it's one of those rumors that got so jacked up. Like we start. I like a little bowling. I'm not like I'm okay. I'm not like a pro. And dabble in it occasionally. I maybe bowl once a year, if that, you know. And somehow this rumor got out that I was this mad pro bowler, and before I knew it, I was being gifted bowling balls and all sorts of stuff. You know, it was crazy.
All right, it's been decided. I'm bringing. I don't know if they'll let me bring it into your show at Fallsview, but I'm bringing you a bowling ball.
Come on, bring it. Let's go.
Keith Urban, he's got new music out now. Messed Up As Me. Really excited for new tunes, and like I said, the world is just a much better place when we got new music from Keith Urban. And that show June 22nd, Fallsview Casino. Keith, thank you so much for doing this, pal.
You bet, Brian. Really good to talk to you, man.